Well, we're talking about Chesley Sullenberger. Captain Chesley Sullenberger, Sully for short. We'd love to interview this guy because,
Why?
He did save a lot of lives. I give him a lot of credit for that. He truly did something pretty extraordinary. He saved a plane full of people that, if life was fair, those people would have died. Because there's too many other people. You know what I mean? People say life's not fair. Sometimes when life's not fair, you live. And so he might call in. And I'm just thinking, what was he going to call in for? Because I know a lot of my friends want to talk to him.
Yeah.
I do. So do. My friend's name was Chesley.
Yeah?
Yes. I used to rib him.
What did you do to rib him?
Hey, Chesley. What are you doing? Thanks for nothing.
It's a terrible rib.
His teeth would have got a little moist if the fucking plane went in the river, at least, Edgar. Your teeth would have been nice and moist.
I woke up. I had poppy seeds on my gum.
Let me see, what's the name of his new book? That's what he's promoting. It's a really good one. It's called Making a Difference. Oh boy. And it says stories of vision and courage from America's leaders. Captain Chesley Sully Sullenberger with Douglas Century. It's a great name. I'm Doug Century. Doug Century here. Can I help you? I don't know what to do. Get Doug Century on the case. Doug Century, he's the man for the job.
Wow, when are we doing this?
There's a missing child. Call Doug Century. Doug Century.
Why don't we just get him?
Doug Century sounds like a bad commercial fucking hero. Like, I don't know what to do. I've spilled all of my gas. Doug Century is here. And on the cover is Captain Sully Sullenberger Chesley.
Chesley.
But this is different. This is not the captain we've come to know and love. This is the relaxed hero around the house. He's wearing a sweater.
Oh, I see that, Jimmy. What is he leaning on? A chair?
With an open collar, probably the fucking plane wing. I mean, metaphorically, too. He's wearing an open collared shirt with his, the collars over the sweater, shirt sleeves rolled up. When you're making a difference, you got to get your fingers dirty. And it says,
Dude, you got your sweater.
Yeah, you know what, Dad? You got your sweater. You're leaning on an open dryer. I think he's leaning on the open door of a DeLorean. I don't know what the fuck that is.
Isn't this his second book?
Yeah.
How many books does a hero get? I mean, come on already.
One. Oh, it's a chair?
Yeah.
That's
How about the hero gets one fucking book about the hero thing?
About the thing.
Yeah, but this is about other people
Heroes?
making... Yeah, it's about America's leaders making a difference.
The top one, here's the top one. Tony LaRussa, which we've all been yearning to hear his tales of heroism. And
So, wait a minute. Tony LaRusso, who knew that steroids were happening all around him,
Yeah, that one.
and decided to look the other way?
that would be the one.
Sully's going to be writing about him?
Well, not
Great.
just Sully.
Great manager, but, I mean, come on. He knew that those fucking guys were injecting each other with the roids.
Not just Sully. Doug Century.
Oh, Doug Century, right. I'm sorry.
Doug Century here.
Which means Sully doesn't know how to write a book.
Well,
That's what that means.
Sully knows that you don't do
Jim
things
Norton,
on
didn't you
your
have
own.
a with when you wrote your books?
No, sir.
That's right, because Jim Norton
Yes.
isn't a true author.
That's right. Jim Norton with gender-bending prostitutes, it should have been called. However, if I had the option, you know who I would have called?
Who?
Doug Century.
Damn. He sounds important.
He sure does.
Who else is going to be in this horseshit book? Oh, we didn't speak to him yet?
No, not yet, but we will.
Oh, no, we want to.
Who's Doug Century? What's he, 100 years old? Oh, shit, I should save that for the call.
Robert Reich? Is that how you pronounce it?
No, it's wrong.
Who the hell is Robert?
That's funny.
He's on the cover, so he must be important.
Some
He's not.
Huh?
political economist.
He's an economist.
He's an American political economist professor. Chip, I'm trying to talk.
Stop.
You hear how
He served
awful this
for
guy
some
is?
presidents.
Who cares? Who would want to read about Robert Reich?
You think some book company erroneously made a multi-book deal with Captain Sullenberger?
Oh, yeah, and they realized this guy's a dud.
Yeah.
What's number 2 book? It's going to be called Making a Difference. And then when they realized he covered everything in the first book. And they're like, "Listen,
we're in trouble.
Yeah, Making a Difference was a great idea, but he did write the one book about the plane crash, and he covered everything. So we're not sure Is he? Well, no. Hey, listen. Maybe for the second book, Making a Difference, he can talk about the after effect of saving those people.
His life after the big day.
Yes, and the people he saved, what they went on to do, and then somebody else in the meeting said, "No, you don't understand." Because he wrote an epilogue to the first book. Basically, we've covered everything. There's nothing left to see here.
He's a dullard.
But he might know some people.
He just happened to be in the right place at the right
Yes.
time, but he is a dullard.
It's over 300 pages.
Oh, Christ.
Is it really?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of
what
pictures.
the Christ.
A lot of pictures, double spacing,
A large font.
very big font.
Borders are in.
Yeah, I would hope so.
About 1-inch borders.
Well, that's
Yeah.
when he's getting quotes.
Yeah.
You got to move that
Yeah.
shit in when it's a quote.
Call this book "Welcome to Font City."
Who else is going to be in this book?
No one I know. Gene
Well,
Kranz.
the hell's Gene-
He's
All right,
a
Gene
NASA.
Kranz, yeah.
You know who he is?
No. I do not.
He's a NASA flight director during the historic Gemini and Apollo programs.
Wow. Oh, you know what? All right, let me guess. Did Ed Harris play him in Apollo 13?
It's a great question.
No. Yes. Maybe.
Let's see. Travis is fucking Googling right now.
Ed Harris played.
In Apollo 13. I'd like an answer, please.
Oh, you're going to get one.
I'd like an honest answer. Because obviously you're not the
Yep,
man
he
for
played
the
Gene
job.
Kranz.
Okay.
Yes, he did.
So Gene
Oh,
Kranz
wow,
is
that's
an
impressive
historic
then.
figure.
All right.
However, I didn't pull that out. I was inspired by Doug Century. That's right. You need something ghost-written? Doug Century here. What's the matter? Fat kid have a scratch on his face? Go to the hospital. Doug Century here. Dr. Doug.
This music should just follow him around. I would insist if my name was Doug Century that this music followed me around wherever I went.
Well, this is probably Sully's walk-in music.
Is it?
Oh, my God. That's Doug Century?
Doug Century.
Douglas Century?
What else has he written?
What an awful
For
beard.
other people. Barney Ross. Who the fuck was Barney Ross?
The life of a Jewish fighter.
A
Yes.
Jewish fighter.
Barney Ross. He used to fuck Betsy in the ass.
You think, you think the Jewish fighter got hit in the nose a lot? I'm a fucking hack. Who else did he write about?
Street Kingdom, 5 years inside the Franklin Avenue posse.
Click on Books.
Is that like
What's that? What's the Franklin Avenue posse?
Is that like the Mean Street posse?
Yes.
I don't know.
Just look at
Hold on. Wait, well, hold on. Come on. All right, Sam. Let's talk
Who
to
was the Franklin Avenue posse?
I guess they're a gang. I'm going to guess that they were.
Did they hang out on Franklin Street?
I'm guessing that. Sam is shit.
It was described by Publishers Weekly as a healthy mixture of reportage and memoir.
A healthy you never want a healthy mixture unless it's pussy and tits.
Sully hangs out with a bunch of bores.
Holy
A bunch of
shit.
intellectual bores.
Gene Kranz did have an interesting job, but I could talk to him for 30 seconds.
Doug Century helped write Ice's book.
Oh,
Ice-T.
wait. Ice. Okay.
But Ice-T seems like the type of guy that could write his own shit. Why did he need
He
Doug
probably
Century?
narrated it to, yo, my man Doug Century. He probably just liked the name. Yo, man, I know that nigga Doug Century gonna help me. Yo, Douglas Century, that's a man. You know how Ice-T's so intense.
We got to remember this next time he comes in. Talk to him about
Talk
Doug
to us.
Century.
Ice, Doug Century, go.
Yeah, have anything funny?
Wow. This is going to be a fun interview. When is Sully calling in?
I don't know. He's not booked yet.
Oh, well, let's not worry about it too much.
We want Douglas Century.
Oh, Tony La Russa was arrested for a DUI a year ago in St. Louis?
Yeah, of course he was.
Cool. I wonder if that's the inspiration. How to drive drunk and get away with it.